The chances are that as a member of my current viewership, you're probably already a miniature painter. And I'd also be willing to bet that at least the majority of you probably play some miniature war games. And honestly, I think we're all very clear on the joys and the wonderful things that those things bring to our lives. But along with that, there can also sometimes come a little stress, a little... Well, put it this way, how many times have you said to yourself, I really got to get this painted for my game this weekend? Woo-wee! Or, you just really want this paint job to impress people, you know, I'm really working really hard. And so, it could never be a bad idea, could it, to go just seeking a little zen every now and again. Something that feels like hobby, but is just completely chill. And it was with this in mind that I found myself stumbling headlong into the world of Gunpla, the plastic scale model kits from Bandai based on the Gundam anime series and its many spin-offs, sequels and movies. So what exactly is it about Gunpla that makes it so zen? Well, to my mind, it's to do with tailored experience. In the Gunpla community, it's completely normal to just build the easiest kits and display them on a shelf to enjoy. But beyond that, there's more involved kits that scale with a grading system, creating longer, more complex builds that have more intricate parts. At the highest end, there's even pre-wired electronics looms that you can integrate into kits to provide flashing lights and the like. Add to this the different scales of finished model and the ability to do as little or as much cleanup and customizing and things like that as you do so wish. It's all very valid in Gunpla. And so it really is, in the purest sense, a do-it-your-way kind of hobby. Some folks like to weather their Gunpla, like this wonderful example by Cosmos Zenfriends, whilst others even fully custom paint the kits to some stunning effects, such as this Wing Gundam Zero by Yokun. I think by now you probably get the point, right? You kind of just do as much as you like, in whatever way you like, and it's just a chill time. So how have I found it so far? Well, I've been using it both as a personal relaxation hobby, but also an excuse to spend some time doing something project-y together with my lovely other half, Jenny. So for the last week or so, we've been chipping away at this Master Grade Infinite Justice in the evenings, and just doing it while we catch up on our favourite TV shows, and having a really nice time just putting it together. Me being the modeller, I tend to clean the pieces and prepare them, whilst Jen, who's a big fan of things like Lego and jigsaw puzzles, does the assembly. We probably put about 2 hours per session into it, spread over about 4 separate evenings, and as you can see, we've made some really good progress on this very complex high-end kit, and we'll probably have it finished pretty soon. But that's a master grade. That's one of the really involved kits with lots of bits and lots of sprues. That might not necessarily be right for every occasion. For my own enjoyment, I also grabbed this high-grade Zaku 2, one of the lower-grade kits that should be buildable in a single or maybe at a push a couple of sessions. And so I figured what better way to explain why this is so zen and so cool than to build this with you so that you can watch in and see what it's all about. So first off, let's take a look at what's in the box. Inside your average Gunpla box, you'll be treated to one of Bandai's incredible instruction books. I cannot overstate just how wonderfully well crafted these are and how easy they are to follow. You'll find sprues, which Gunpla folk call runners, of various coloured plastic components. Don't ask me how, but in many kits you even get different coloured plastics on the same runner. Absolute witchcraft. Usually tucked into one of the bags you'll find some transfers. They do a few different types: adhesive backed stickers, dry rub transfers and water slides, the latter of which any Warhammer player will be abundantly familiar with. And well, that's kind of about it. You don't even really need a bunch of extra stuff either. As I said before, this is a hobby of tailored experience. For me, to get that zen, I don't want to paint, I don't want to super fuss over precision and cleanup. I just want to chill out and build a cool toy. With that in mind, my tool setup is fairly minimal. Clippers, a hobby knife, a nail buffer for tidying dings and bobbles, and for finishing, I just like a Gundam liner pen and an eraser pen. Now most of this I already had too, and I suspect the same will be true for many of you if, like me, you're a miniature painter. And the building process is also beautifully simplified, with everything being snap fit and there being absolutely no need for glue. However, before we can get to the building, we have to cut the pieces out from the runners. And so, as a tribute to the wonderful Gunpla community right here on YouTube, I wanted to just make a few seconds of an ASMR sprue cutting video. I just love those things. I cannot tell you how many of them I've watched so far from other Gunpla channels. Geo San Pedro and SD Hobby being my two favourites. I'll link them both in the description. Really, really great stuff to chill out to. And once you've cut out that first batch of pieces according to the instructions, you then just snap them together. Everything is designed in these kits to really go together with very minimal fuss. And as you get into the higher end kits, it's hard to not be staggered by the ingenuity of some of the components. After just a few minutes of clicking parts together and then clicking those parts into other parts, you'll have completed your first piece. And then it really just becomes a story of repeating this process a few times until you have more and more and more components built and you're ready to snap together to the rest of the kit. As you assemble your components, they snap into each other and form the completed whole. And so eventually you get yourself to a place where you have a lovely, fully assembled Gunpla kit. And for many people, this is the whole hobby. I can definitely see the draw of this super simple and relaxed approach to just getting it built. However, I am a miniature painter, so even if I am keeping it chill, I'm going to want to put a little bit extra into finish. Do you remember that liner pen and the eraser that we mentioned earlier? This is a really simple two-step process by which you can add some extra depth to the kit by running black lines into the little grooves. It's absolutely not essential, but for the short investment of extra time, I really love the look it gives to the piece. And so now we're actually done, and this is honestly about as far as I like to take my kits, because I like to keep it chill. The fully painted and heavily customised kits absolutely stagger me, both in their beauty, but also in the precision of the work that goes into them. But for me, this is where the sweet spot is. Something that lets me just relax, take my mind off the pressures of painting, and just build a beautifully engineered model kit. It is absolute pure zen. So folks, what do you think of Gunpla? Let me know in the comments if you're thinking of giving it a try, or indeed if you are already a Gunpla expert. What kits do you think I should buy and have a go at? I'd love to hear some recommendations and some feedback. Also, please don't forget to give this video a like if you liked it, to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and to check out the links in the description if you wish to support the channel further. With all that said, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, folks, wish you happy hobbying, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.